I've been thinking, lately it's just me against the world. Round and round I'm caught up in this swirl, trying to dig and trying to burrow. Pressure turned this stone into a pearl. Lessons that I learned weren't always thorough, sugar-coated like a churl. Now I'm really out here on my own. Now my homies acting like I owe 'em, done extending out my arm. Made a lot of money from my poems. Been around and now they say I'm on. I can finally say I'm up now, I'm up now. 20,000 on a bus down, a bus down. I'm on my way up, going up now, and I ain't never gonna touchdown, touchdown. Mind's on, I can't turn it off. Late nights and I'm turning up. Hate life, then I learn to love. Down and out, now I'm way above. I always knew I had it, now I'm living out my dreams. Treat that money like an addict, it's a habit. I'm a fiend, feeling that rush. Rocket ready to launch. Hands up, ready and gone. Been waiting too long. Trust on plenty, that's wrong. Old me's dead and that's gone. Thank God I'm headstrong. I don't wanna wake up in a doubt that I show 'em everything I'm about. I ain't never going out. I ain't never getting for no clout. Now I'm sitting free on the ground. I can finally say I'm up now. I'm up now. 20,000 on a bus down, a bus down. I'm on my way up, going up now, and I ain't never gonna touchdown, touchdown. I ain't never gonna touchdown. No, I ain't never gonna touchdown. I'm up now, 20,000 on a bus down, I'm on my way up, going up now, and I ain't never gonna touchdown, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, planet Earth, in parts some might call unknown, it is time for the House Divided Podcast, Season 8, Episode 9, the Michigan State at Michigan preview with our friend Kaleb.
Hello, everyone.
Jordan, do you have anything to say? Jordan, Discord has you muted.
What the hell? my thing that I had to say was just hello.
Hi, Ty. Oh, God.
How the hell that happened?
I don't know. I figured we were just going to do this the whole show.
I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. Nothing is on fire. We have cabin pressure.
We are professional at what we do, except when we're not.
Accurate.
Yeah.
We don't have news. We might have some bad takes. Anybody? I have one from Stephen A. Smith, just because we had to get him on the show at some point this year.
I had a couple that I thought about, but they're not really all that bad. They're just stupid people on the internet. So I'm gonna save the time. They're not segment worthy. So
okay. I have one real quick.
I'm just gonna forget.
Fair.
Forget I ever saw it.
And this comes from Stephen A. Smith on his show, First Take.
One of his many shows at this point.
Yeah, because he's all ESPN has for people.
But then he does his own stuff. He's got podcasts, the YouTube stuff. It does everything.
Yeah, he does. If Deion Sanders gets this team, Colorado, to 8, 9, 10 wins, and they're in a bowl game, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at your National Coach of the Year.
God, no.
While forgetting what the coach of the Mormons is doing, I don't even know that guy's name, with BYU, and Kurt Cignetti at Indiana being phenomenal.
Yeah, the Indiana thing is actually pretty impressive.
Just absolutely absurd
right now. BYU's head football coach is Kalani Sitake.
That's a football name right there.
Actually, nope. There's pronunciation in front of me. No, I got it right. Kalani Sitake.
That sounds right. I mean, hey, there we go. Both of those dudes have to be higher up than what and I'm not even like a Deion hater, but this Colorado team being bad is inexcusable because of the talent they have.
Well, and you look at BYU, and I mean they're in what, their second season
of Big 12.
Big 12.
Yes.
So, and I mean we saw how the first season went, but to be ready for that conference in just year 2 just seems insane. Even though the Big 12 isn't the most elite conference in all of college football, it's still way more impressive.
And then what Kurt Cignetti's doing at Indiana after being the coach of
former head coach of the University of Indiana, Pennsylvania, or whatever the hell.
Indiana in Pennsylvania, yeah. That's bad. That's a bad take of the week, unless Kaleb had one.
Nope, just delusional people on the internet.
Yeah, that's more often than not what it is. Panic meter. Oh wait, we don't have graphics.
We don't have graphics, no. Where did you want me to fit any of that in?
No, I went to go press a button and I don't have buttons. So I just don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. I'm gonna just drink beer while you guys talk about your teams. But first, Ohio State's went down from a 4 to a 3.8 because, as I put it in the notes, Oregon didn't suck, fuck, or get purdured.
They didn't. They very much were never in danger of getting purdured.
No, they were not. No.
There's that.
No. And I will now let you guys have it.
Dogs here early.
Hi, buddy.
So
you're interrupting beer.
Michigan's first here, so I guess I'll go in with this.
Interrupting beer time.
I don't really remember where I left Michigan off. Actually, hold on, let me back that up. Whatever it is, it's going up clearly.
Fair.
They were never really in that game, even though for a second you like the score wise they were, but just the incapability of any one of the 3 quarterbacks that we have thrown out there all year long has me fucking terrified. There might not be a worse quarterback room in the country, and I'm talking even the MAC, the Mountain West Conference USA. They might have better quarterbacks than Michigan does.
There.
And I don't think that's exaggerating at all.
Honestly,
we
no.
somehow found the worst quarterbacks in the entire country and said, hey, you're now going to try and run an offense at the defending national champion school, a power conference school. Good luck. What in the absolute fuck? Stat-wise in this game, you look at it, it doesn't look as bad, I guess. Jack Tuttle, 20 of 32, 208 with 1 interception. The only problem is Jack Tuttle also fumbled twice, losing one of them. Donovan Edwards fumbled. That was a lost fumble. And if anything needs to be reliable in terms of this Michigan offense, it is the ball security of the running backs. And Donovan doesn't usually have problems with ball security, but he did against Illinois. And the only reason Michigan only lost by 14 is because Illinois' offense was essentially inept.
Illinois' offense looked like the uniforms they were playing in.
Luke Altmaier was absolutely balling out really all season long. Every week you'd look at an Illinois scoreline and Altmaier was going off. He finished 9 of 18 80 yards, 1 touchdown. Their leading rusher had just over 50 yards. Nothing all that incredible. This is a beatable Illinois team, and Oregon is probably going to have a field day with them. But it really just goes to show just how bad Michigan's offense really is. And I'm really fucking hoping they figure something out ahead of this Saturday. They're abysmal. They are absolutely terrible. I had them at a 7-1 last week.
Yep.
I mean, there still has to be room to grow if I become more panicked about this team. So I'm going to put them at a 7.9. But we are an absolute offensive dumpster fire. Like, I don't understand it.
I'm gonna ask you.
How did we?
Go ahead.
One quick final thought. Sharon Moore, you had to see these 3 quarterbacks practice in the spring and through the summer and realize that they're not good. None of them are good. How did we let this happen?
So
We're one of the worst teams coming off a national championship to ever exist. God, continue.
I'm going to ask you this question. The NCAA has Michigan total offense ranked at 118th. Do you think, A, that they're the worst? I mean, they have, like, Northwestern is below them. There's a handful of Power 4 teams, like Florida State at 132. Do you think that Michigan could be up there with the worst offense in the country?
I mean, yeah, in terms of passing offense, they're, at least in terms of what my notes, 129th out of 135 schools.
Oh.
The only thing that buoys their total offensive yards per game ranking is the rushing game. It accounts for over half of it. It's the passing offense is that bad.
Yeah, that's all I just wanted to ask. Do you think, like, even though, because I mean I don't want to say they've had some cupcake games.
There ain't cupcake games with this team.
I was just wondering if you
exist.
I was just curious if you thought they were a lot worse than what their offensive ranking potentially could be a lot worse than what their offensive ranking is. That's all.
I mean, it doesn't get a lot worse, but your 2 toughest games are still on the schedule in Oregon and Ohio State. So
Indiana
it could very
being
well
good.
get worse in terms of season averages by the end of the year.
Yeah, okay, that's.
I keep saying unless they figure something out. I don't know if this team has any potential offensively, but maybe, possibly. Maybe Jack Tuttle goes off a game. Maybe Jack Tuttle doesn't even start. Maybe Sharon Moore says, fuck this, and burns Jaden Davis's red shirt and makes him start even though he doesn't want to. I don't know.
Fair. Kaleb. Oh, yep. Kaleb, you have anything for Michigan State on how panic meter works?
A 1 to 10 panic meter? Is that what we're working with here?
It's a 1 to 10 decimal points clearly allowed. Yeah, this is kind of a new thing for us. We're still trying to figure it out. But
So is this like realistic or personal preference?
really whatever you want it to be.
Bit of both. Could be a bit of both.
It probably is personal preference. Like, so Austin, when it comes to the Bengals, just put them immediately very high because they were a dumpster fire at the time.
Yes.
Maybe they still are. Who knows? But I do, at least for us, we have to keep it somewhat realistic because we have to do this every week. So if it gets worse, there needs to be room for the meter to go up.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
Right.
5.
To be honest, that's actually fair.
That's pretty fair.
I think we should have one more win. We really should have one more win. The games against Oregon and Ohio State were much closer, I think, than the score says.
Yeah.
But when you force turnovers and then you go and punt, or you turn the ball over yourself, you're
That's
not
fair.
going to win games. And my God, Aiden Childs needs to learn how to take care of the football. I don't know if they're wearing green and white out there as well, but when he's thrown across the middle to a linebacker every time, it is the most frustrating thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. And then he runs the ball really well. Against Ohio State, I think we're in the red zone, runs the ball, fumble. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
I get he's 19 years old. He's got, I think, a high ceiling. You know how to play football. You know how to, don't they preach that? Since you're little, hold on to the damn football.
His Aiden Childs, and I haven't had the chance to watch a lot of Michigan State games because I've always had to either call football games or I've had other stuff going on.
Well, lucky for you that both us two have watched a good chunk of Michigan State.
Yeah, I would say this is going to be very interesting when I have to call this game on Saturday night. I have not watched a lot of Michigan State football, but Aiden Childs has some of the more impressive plays that you'll see from a quarterback, followed up with some of the most maddening plays.
Mm-hmm.
So ass.
He is incredibly talented, and you have to give him that for sure. His development is all going to come down to keeping the football, not turning the ball over. That's really what it is, because the tools are there. He's a dual threat quarterback who can beat you with his arm and his legs, and he's actually really terrifying. Thinking a couple years down the road for Michigan, because Lord knows what the fuck Sharon Moore is going to be as a recruiter. He could be the next MSU quarterback to torch us. I just don't know yet. He's certainly got to get better. He's coming off his best game of the year for sure. Only the one turnover on the interception. Still passed the decently well, at least completion percentage wise. It was, I mean, unless you want to count the Prairie View game, but
No, I would say that's the best game they've played as a team all season.
Yeah, because I even though this doesn't look like the Iowa defense from years past, it still is the Iowa defense. They're still very talented. But Michigan State did enough. Now, there was a lot of field goals kicked in that game against Iowa, but and that's something, yeah, something that's gonna have to be. You're gonna have to find the end zone if you're Michigan State going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But last week it worked out. You know, look at the Steelers right now. First couple weeks of the season, they were kicking nothing but field goals.
Kicked a lot of field goals. Alrighty.
It can work. It can be winning football. It's just not really sustainable long term.
Alrighty. NFL panic meters. Our teams both played at the same time, so I went alphabetical order for this. The Cincinnati Bengals played host to didn't even play host. They traveled up to Cleveland to take on the dumpster fire of the Browns. Last week, I had the Bengals after beating the Giants at a 6.9. It went down from whatever it was after the Zach Taylor disaster class against the Ravens. It's gonna go down again from a 6.9 to 6.3, 6.2. Well, we'll say 6.3. The offense didn't really wow you. You play the Cleveland Browns, you figure you need about 20, 25 points, 21, 24 points to beat them, because offensively they are one of the worst offenses in the NFL, buoyed by a very good defense. That just, I mean, they're on the field so much, similar to what's happening to the Michigan Wolverines in football. They have a very on paper good defense that's just on the field so much that they can't really do anything.
A Cleveland defense that's going to get way worse when the Lions acquires Zadarius Smith.
Yeah, that Cleveland defense could be getting worse. There's a lot of rumors that they're shopping a handful of people, or trying to at least.
Good luck on Myles Garrett. I hope it's not Detroit. He's too expensive.
Yeah. So, like, offensively, you knew coming into this game that if the Bengals scored 21, 24, 28, 30 points, you were feeling pretty comfortable, because as long as the defense did exactly what they did against the Giants, which was not make a mediocre quarterback look good. Well, Deshaun Watson did not look good. I mean, Nick Chubb did return and played chunks of this game. Deshaun Watson did not look good in his limited action against the Bengals before he tore his Achilles. Dorian Thompson-Robinson did not look good in his little bit of action before he broke his hand.
Oh.
If I remember correctly, is what it ended up being, the injury. Jameis Winston didn't look bad. He is the best quarterback the Browns have. But that offense is just so bad. Like, they lose Amari Cooper. They don't have receiving core. Their offensive line is not good. They're a sieve. Nick Chubb's the only thing that this offense has, and you just don't know how much he's gonna be able to do behind that offensive line. So the Bengals again accomplished what they needed to do, which was not make a low caliber, low quality quarterback look good. So
official injury listing for DTR was right finger. Whatever that means.
Which right finger?
Which one? I don't know, but right finger.
I mean, he is a right-handed quarterback, so I guess if you hurt any of those fingers,
that is problematic.
Worst thing for the Browns, that if Jameis Winston gets hurt, it's Bailey Zappi era in Cleveland.
Yeah, he did just get picked up. Yes.
So, yep, Bengals go down from a 6.9 to a 6.3. They did what they needed to do. It'll be. I don't know if the number is really going to change because they have the Eagles this week, and that Eagles team.
Eagles are like in the same spot. Like, they're trending on talented dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's where the Bengals are. I think most of this season until somebody figures something out, whether it be Lou Anarumo or Zach Taylor. That's what the Bengals are going to be. They're going to be a fringe playoff dumpster fire.
Fair.
And
very fair.
I will punt to you guys on the Detroit Lions. I do have one thing I want to add when we get to the end of the game.
Okay. So, to give a little bit of context and where I've been at with the Detroit Lions, the first 2 weeks of Panic Meter, I put them at a 1.4. We had a bye, so it stayed the same at a 1.4. When Hutch got injured, it did go up to a 2.4. It is going to go down slightly because you went in against a Minnesota team I wasn't really all that sold on, but this was the first game that I actually watched them play. Just entirely. I was streaming during the first half of it, but eventually, or the second half of it, went back and watched it. That's a talented football team. They really are.
I mean, you saw some flashes of vintage Sam Darnold for the first time all season.
You did, and so Sam Darnold's just such a wild card. I mean, are you gonna get weeks 1 through 4 Sam Darnold, or are you gonna get the last couple weeks? You just don't know when you play Minnesota right now. So we are going to go back down, at least for me. I'm going to list the Lions at a 2.2.
Fair.
Screw it. We're going to go 2-1.
Fair.
Because the panic certainly goes down because that game was thrown away with the David Montgomery fumble.
Yes, it was. And this game should not have been as close.
I feel so bad for Montgomery on that because he felt like shit. And I mean, he's been around this team now in his second year, and he wants it so bad. Everybody on that team does, but it feels like Monty more so. I mean, he just wants to prove himself and prove this team. So when that happens, of course, I'm streaming at the time. Kaleb comes in. It's like, well, it really sucks throwing games. I'm like, trust Jared Goff. I mean, that team's gonna pick up Montgomery for sure, and any amount of time is just too much. This offense is talent at every position. The catch to Amon-Ra St. Brown to essentially put us in Jake Bates' field goal range scared the fucking shit out of me. I was into double coverage. I was fucking terrified. But it all works out. And you got the fucking former brick salesman in Jake Bates.
And UFL kicker.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know if you heard that clip after
I did.
The game-winning kick. He said that he thought his football career was over. He was selling bricks in Houston 18 months ago.
I did.
And he's phenomenal. Hasn't missed a kick in the NFL, and he's just it's exactly what you thought you were going to get from him. Watching him in the UFL, he's got a tremendous leg, and the accuracy, which was the only real downside to him in the UFL, which wasn't awful,
no,
but it wasn't on the elite level. I mean, we're sitting here, I think he's 10 of 10
Yes.
And he's got the leg to rival some of the better kickers in the NFL.
Dude has
Justin
a cannon.
Tucker, although he's had a fucking shit season so far. But Brandon Aubrey as well. I really like who we got there. So my panic does go down. Lions are shopping around for a defensive end to kind of band-aid the Hutchinson loss. I think Za'Darius Smith is the best name that I've heard throw out there because you're going to get a quality player.
Yeah.
And
Cheap.
you're not going to give up that much to get him. Matt Crosby said today he wants to be a Raider. Will he be a Raider? Who the hell knows?
He will for at least this season.
So something I think has to be done, even though you didn't see the cost of that necessarily against Minnesota. If you really have aspirations of winning the Super Bowl this year, you can't afford to have any holes. So go out and get a player like Za'Darius Smith. Quality veteran, not going to cost you much. Go do it. Lions for me are at 2.1.
Do you have anything to add, Caleb?
I do have one thing to add. I'm okay with the number, but the Lions have one of the best first half offenses I've ever seen. But when we get to the second half, everything just slows down.
Yeah, it's been a problem. Really, it was really noticeable last year. Like, remember the Saints game from a year ago where like it was like 21-0 after like 5 minutes.
Yep.
Well, that game wound up somewhat close. Like I don't really know how.
Or
but,
the NFC Championship.
Or that.
Yeah.
yeah. So against good teams like the 49ers, you're going to pay the price for that. Got to find a way to play a full game. Fuck, at least 3 quarters. Because if this offense is on for 3 quarters, there ain't a team really in the NFL.
No.
Even the Chiefs right now, because Mahomes keeps turning the ball over.
Mahomes kind of
There's not a team in the NFL
sucks.
that can hang with that.
No, there isn't.
This offense plays lights out, 3 quarters, no mistakes. It's a scary, scary thing for the rest of the NFL. Problem is, they play a good first half.
Yeah.
Or sometimes even a good first quarter.
Yep, I have, and I actually forgot. 2 things I want to add. One, I don't blame David Montgomery for the fumble. He probably should not have been put in that scenario. I know, yes, he is a very phenomenal power back. With that knee injury, he probably should not have been put in that scenario. It should have been Jahmyr Gibbs. I get what the plan is, but
well, and that's another thing that does come up that I really like with the backs that we have. When Montgomery suffers the injury early, you really don't need to see him
no.
the rest of the game.
That's my really biggest issue with
Because fuck, I trust Craig Reynolds. Like that's how deep the running back room is. I would certainly love to see. I mean, a running back duo of Jahmyr Gibbs and Craig Reynolds is still really good.
Yeah. Like my 2 little things I wanted to add were Dan Campbell related. That's the one negative is like, okay, what are we doing? Like, I get what you're trying to do, but you don't necessarily need to do it. And then, make no mistake, I have said for a couple years now, I think Dan Campbell is a really good head coach who just makes some bad decisions.
Accurate.
As someone who is not really, I'm not really a Lions fan. I don't have anything against the Lions. Nothing bad to say about them. Very neutral to them. I have wanted to see the Lions in a situation similar to what they were in this past weekend against Minnesota at the end of the game, just to see the decision making, just to see if we're going to get the same old Dan Campbell where he was going to just hell or high water, we're scoring a touchdown, or if he's going to take the smart play. And kicking the field goal with a phenomenal kicker, that was the smart play. I think as long as the decision making from Dan Campbell, and you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater on some of the decisions to be aggressive, like going for it on 4th downs or fake punts. But I was very curious to see if they were going to make the safer decision to try and kick the field goal, and it paid off. So that's very encouraging to see as a Lions fan, because that way you know that there's at least a chance you're not going to be leaving points on the board.
Yeah. Now, it's only a matter of time until we kick a field goal when we shouldn't, or go for it on fourth down when we should kick a field goal. Only a matter of time.
Yes, it's going to happen. That's what happens every year, but I've said it a lot in scenarios to what like the Lions were in. If you try and be super aggressive and score that touchdown, one mistake and you don't even have a chance to win the game or tie the game.
Yeah.
And Jared Goff's been playing great. We haven't seen any of the, as we've called it, Jared Goof. We've seen, especially the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it's been.
Not since like week 3.
Yeah, where he's scored, where the Lions offense has scored more touchdowns than he's had incompletions. He's been playing phenomenal MVP level football. So I liked the decision to kick it. It was smart, and you make the right call. So that's encouraging to see.
All right.
That's all I got.
There we go.
And now,
panic meter done.
Now it is time for the meat of the show, the Michigan State traveling to, I can't really call it a block of concrete. It's more of a hole in the ground in Ann Arbor.
It's a hole in the ground surrounded by bricks and concrete, yeah.
Yep. To Michigan Stadium to take on the Michigan Wolverines. Do you want me to lead the game notes since you guys are going to talk about stats and everything?
Yeah, sure. Let me finish my NFL picks.
Oh shit! Oh no, wait, we don't have an NFL game until tomorrow.
We're good. Yep.
Some game notes, records, and some random facts before we get into stats.
I never did find out, by the way. There was one I wanted to look up when the last time Michigan and Michigan State both had first-year head coaches heading into this game. Never really figured that out. But I'm sure it's the first time in a while.
Yeah, probably. Michigan and Michigan State meet for the 117th time on Saturday, with Michigan leading the series 73-38 with 5 draws there. It's probably been a long time since there's been a tie.
I would imagine.
This is something I didn't even know because, well, why would I? This is the 72nd meeting for Paul Bunyan. Michigan leading with 40-29 with the trophy on the line. Wolverines' record in Ann Arbor is 36-21-3. Well, that's actually at Michigan Stadium. I'm sorry. Their overall home record in Ann Arbor in the series is 51-23-3.
My God.
Yeah, Michigan State doesn't do too great there. This is the first time since the 2008 game that Michigan faces MSU while coming off a loss in their previous game, and the first time in 2005, oh my, that the Spartans have won their previous game and Michigan has lost theirs. As Jordan mentioned, both teams are entering this game with head coaches in their first season, with Sharon Moore on the Michigan sideline and Jonathan Smith, not John L. Smith, Jonathan Smith, on the Michigan State sideline.
Not sure who I'd want to be coaching MSU more.
I'm sure Michigan State fans don't want John L. Smith.
No.
Because he was pretty bad. Michigan State will have a different head coach for the third straight meeting, Mel Tucker, in 2022. Harlan Barnett serving as the interim last year, and, well, as I said, Jonathan Smith this year. And final note, Michigan enters the game. Winners of 2 straight in the series, 29-7 in 2022. Jordan was at that game, and he got to see Sean McDonough's face. And
well, from a long way away, yeah.
Probably the front of pants accident he had when he got to call trouble with the snap.
Yeah. I remember watching that back after, because I said while I was at that game, I was just like, oh, I know he dropped that line.
Oh yeah.
Even from very high up at Michigan Stadium, the preferred way to watch a game at Michigan Stadium, by the way, all the way across the field, I could still see Sean McDonough's bald head. So you knew it was happening.
Hey, you won't have to, if you rewatch the game this year, you won't have to see or hear Sean McDonough.
No, we'll probably get like Brandon Gaudin.
I don't know who I'm going to end up hearing while I call that game.
I don't know who the Big Ten Network night crew is.
I don't know. Michigan winners of 2 straight, 29-7 in 2022, and then last year in the whatever the fuck was going on with Michigan State and their video board debacle and all the other stuff.
Oh yeah, I was in Vegas, right?
Yes, you were. Michigan won 49-0.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the Hitler on the video board.
I wasn't trying to actually say what it was, but yeah.
I don't think mentioning Hitler is
who knows
against
anymore.
TOS, but
Yeah.
I don't know who made that call, but that was incredible.
And now on to some stats and previews. As we have Michigan State first, Kaleb, you can take this one away, my friend.
Hold on, I need to pull up notes.
Fair enough.
Or pull them up.
I need to.
I just looked at chat for the first time. I don't know if anybody else has chat up. Ash says,
Ash
"Look,
asked me to
strip."
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that, and I just wasn't going to address it.
I don't think that man's taking off that jersey for anything.
I hope he's not taking any clothes off on this show.
Do you want me to read these on the notes?
Yeah.
Well, so you don't have to read them. They're just there as more so just a little bit of a, I don't know, just to kind of feed you into it. But you can pretty much just talk about MSU.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you getting
weaknesses, strengths, whatever.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about Michigan State football.
Can I talk about their fans first?
If you want.
Sure, I don't care.
Okay,
This is
cool.
this is your segment.
Yeah, this is your part of the segment. I'm just here along for the ride.
I like to pride myself on being a realistic fan of my sports teams. So to the people on Twitter and Aiden Childs himself, no, we are not going to bet the over. You think you've played good enough to bet the over? No. So that interview can get chalked out the window.
Time out real quick.
The over's only 40.5.
Yeah. If the under hits in this game,
It could.
yeah, very possible.
Very well could.
If the under hits in this game, this game is gonna set football back a bazillion years, possibly.
Like, Michigan has no offense against any defense. Michigan State might not have an offense against a good defense. It's set up for like a 7-6 game.
Yeah, this game could set college football. I'm glad you brought up the Aiden Childs interview from pre-week 1.
Yes.
Bet the over. Bet the over. If the over doesn't hit in this game, and I'm not betting, I'm taking the under if I bet on this game. I'm taking the under if I bet on this game. If
that under also, I believe, has gone down, or that total rather has gone down. I want to say 5 points since it opened.
Hey,
bet
the under. You're winning until you're not. If the over doesn't,
hey, wait, we could have a 0-0 overtime. There is that distinct possibility, and you know what they say: don't call it undertime.
That is true. Yeah, this game is. The points will not be scored. Kaleb, you could have the floor back.
Okay, one more thing about the fans. Nate Carter is not winning the Heisman. I don't know where that started.
That started last year.
That's true.
I know.
Jordan and I heard that last year.
I'm still not on the hype train. He's not even getting all the carries.
So we worked with one of the more delusional MSU fans that I've ever seen. Now, I don't know if you can remember this far back or if you even made a prediction for Michigan State's overall record a year ago. But I can guarantee you it wasn't
11 wins.
10-2.
It was like 3-9. I think I said.
We worked with a guy who
thought that they were going to win 10 or 11 games.
Yeah, started out at 11-1 with their only loss being Ohio State. He got that part right.
What, in terms they lost to Ohio State?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that part right. It started out at 11-1. Then it dropped to 10-2 after they struggled with Central Michigan.
Oh, what a fun game that was a fun week. That was a fun multiple weeks leading into that.
Oh,
game.
that was
We
incredible.
We all wore Central Michigan gear into work just to fucking get at.
Yeah, I wore my Central Michigan hoodie. That is like super heavy. I mean, you've seen how heavy that hoodie is.
I bought a shirt.
I
bought a polo shirt off of eBay ahead of that.
It was 90 degrees, and I still wore that hoodie that day.
Oh, I was. That's why I didn't buy a hoodie.
Well, I wasn't gonna spend money. I was dying. Yeah, it started out with Michigan State 11-1, then went to 10-2, and then eventually, I think after they lost to Michigan in
blowout, shutout fashion.
Yeah, then he went down to a ass. He did eventually go down to I think he said they'd get 5 or 6 wins, and I don't think they ever got to 6. Well,
To this man's credit, this year he was much more
4.
realistic.
He was.
He did.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. He said, and I agreed with him. He said, "I think we can make a bowl game.
Yeah.
I think we can win 6 games." I was like, "Yep, I think you're spot on."
Yeah.
And now they have the chance. They got the record to do better than that. So
Yeah.
we'll see what they do from here on out. But
You can take the floor again, Caleb.
Just one more thing about your coworker or whoever, just delusion.
yes.
In 3 games alone, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, MSU was outscored 129-3. So
With the 3 coming against Ohio State
yeah,
in like garbage time, if I remember correctly.
That sounds like an Alpena Wildcats football stat line.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Accurate.
might be the stat line.
It,
Oh, they were outscored. Alpena's been outscored worse.
yeah. Yeah. So go ahead, Caleb. You can keep talking about the football team.
I'll talk about the offense first. Aiden Childs, 19 years old, looked abysmal at times. He's looked great at times. 6 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, not great, but he evens that out with 3 rushing touchdowns.
Fuck.
About 1,500 yards through the air, passer rating 128.1, adding
Ooh.
166 yards on the ground.
Hey, total wise, we're on pace for the Jameis Winston stat line. As many touchdowns as interceptions.
Yeah.
If he throws 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, I probably could still be happy about it.
Might make a bowl game.
We should make a bowl game. Realistically, we're not beating Indiana now like I thought we were gonna, but for another time. The run game's been abysmal, in my opinion. Personal opinion, it's been abysmal. K'Ron Lynch
so
Adams
bad.
getting the bulk of the carries, 82 carries, 424 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nate Carter, Heisman winner himself, 67 carries, 294 yards.
That's
2
too many
touchdowns.
carries.
Okay. Too many carries. They've been okay. They get good runs against shitty teams. They didn't run the ball well against Iowa. They didn't run the ball well against Oregon or Ohio State. They ran the ball okay early on, but it's just not. The run game's not there.
1.7 yards per carry against Ohio State. I don't know how they did against Oregon or Iowa. And I've talked to a couple people. I have friends up here that are Michigan State fans. It's not just the running backs. Like, yeah, Nathan Carter's not good. He is not good at all. That offensive line though doesn't know how to run block.
No, they do not.
It's not all on him. Either him or Adams. They don't know how to run block at all.
No, and it's hard to watch because when you think about this rivalry, in my opinion, you win it in the trenches. You run the football, smash mouth football.
That's always been the thing when you do or you listen to or see other Michigan State previews going years and years back. It's always the team that rushes for more yards probably gonna win.
Yep,
that was the case for so many years.
Been the case in Ohio State, Michigan too. Oddly enough, considering what Ohio State's turned into since Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just at the heart of it. This is a Big Ten football game, and whoever plays better Big Ten football does.
It could be very bad.
Yeah. This is the most side note before you continue on, we eventually get to Michigan. This is the weirdest Michigan State preview we've done. Where both of you are just, our teams fucking suck. This team blows.
Well, I mean, so we've done previews when these teams are in somewhat similar shape before, but I feel like we're more realistic as we have gone on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and especially this year when it comes to Michigan, I mean, it's just undeniable how bad their offense is. But I mean, Michigan State, they found themselves in the gutter. Like the low was last year, so now you move into this year, and so you can have a little bit. You can look forward to the future because you know you got a little bit until you're really built to be a contender. So the realism has really stepped up here.
Yeah.
Especially this season. Michigan State, they got that taste last year, and then now Michigan is come back down to earth. And when I say come back down to earth, has fallen into the goddamn abyss.
They're
Accurate.
still falling.
They might be.
They could be. So yeah, go ahead, continue with
Okay, one more thing about the offense, and then I'll go to defense. I don't want to ramble. Nick Marsh is a fucking dude.
yes.
He is
in place.
He is so good. And I don't know if this is accurate, but I think I saw after last game, he's 116 yards away from breaking the single season receiving at MSU. Could be wrong. I don't know if it's
That's
freshman
probably
or all time, like in a single season, but he's there. He's close.
as
And he only has one touchdown.
yeah, which is weird.
24 catches for 433 yards and only one touchdown. 18 yards a catch. That's just crazy to me.
As somebody who's seen good receivers, yeah, he's a fucking stud.
Posted October 19th. Nick Marsh needs 171 receiving yards to break the MSU. 171. Well, at least this guy says 171 yards to break the MSU freshman single season record.
That's still.
It's still crazy.
How long has that record been held?
No idea.
Okay, I was just wondering if that article you found said.
Give me a second.
Okay, go ahead, Caleb.
I can't forget about Montori Foster. He's played pretty good too. 27 receptions, 374 yards, about 14 yards a catch and 2 touchdowns. He's been okay too, and that's about it. The offense just really hasn't impressed me much.
Fair.
Hold on, defense. Oh boy. I'm just gonna go ahead.
I'm gonna touch on this just since you didn't, and we've talked about it. They need to stop turning the ball over. We kind of mentioned it in Panic Meter. They're tied 111th in the country out of 134 teams, and turnover differential at
6, right?
Yeah, -6.
I do indeed have an answer. And this is on Michigan State's official game notes heading into this. He now just needs 58 receiving yards to pass Cody White.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Who put up 490 all the way back, long time ago, 2017.
Former Steeler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Somehow.
Let's hear it about the defense.
Oh, God.
The defense is better than they were last year, at least.
The defense is better than they were last year.
Like he has no faith in the offense, or he has a little bit of faith in the offense, no faith in the defense. I have no faith in the offense, faith in the defense.
Yeah, that's fair.
The defense has not looked terrible. I don't have player specifics, but I know Cal Halliday's still there at linebacker. He's always a good
Steady
football player.
Steady.
But if we didn't turn the ball over so much, the turnovers that we forced would look a lot better. I think 2 interceptions off Gabriel against Oregon, had a pick last week against Cade McNamara because he just can't play at Spartan Stadium anymore, apparently.
No. He never could.
Will Howard threw an interception.
Oh God, yeah, he did.
I don't know if there's any fumbles. I've only ever seen the interceptions. The secondary looks better. I have somewhat of faith when the ball goes in the air, and I know, there's a chance he might not catch it.
Right, because coming off of the last couple seasons, I mean,
Jesus.
going back to even early to mid Mel Tucker,
Even the
secondary,
the 2 years they won.
Yeah. I mean, it's some of the worst defensive backs to ever probably play college football, like big time power conference college football.
We did hold 2 great teams under 40 points. I guess that's something.
Yeah,
there is that.
And special teams, Jonathan Kim is dude.
Yeah,
good kicker.
Yeah, he's been a great kicker.
Dude's gonna wind up drafted.
Dude has
100%.
been a very good. He had only kicked 1 field goal before he got to Michigan State.
If nothing else, Michigan State is producing kickers and punters.
It's something, I guess.
I mean,
Bryce Behringer is in the NFL.
He is, and was drafted in the 6th round, I think.
Amir Speed's in the NFL.
Wow.
Oh yeah, there's actually a good chunk of MSU players that are there. I mean, Jaden Reed's going off in the NFL right now. Speedy Naylor's somewhere.
He's in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
3rd receiver reps. He's actually he played Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, no, Amir Speed is
Kenneth Walker.
Amir Speed is on the Chicago Bears.
I'm sorry that they decided to do that.
Bill Belichick drafted him.
Hey,
so that explains a lot.
If you want to be anywhere in the Chicago Bears, you want to be on the defense.
It is true.
Well, the sideline in his case.
Well, yeah, but
still,
regardless,
he's in the NFL. Good for him.
Yeah.
I think he sucks.
It should
so do the Bears, apparently.
It should tell you he was drafted by Bill Belichick's Patriots. So
yes,
Belichick does weird shit like that.
And now look where he's at. His 3rd team now.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I have, I think.
Okay.
You, Jordan. You're down below me here.
This. Yeah, we can do this now. And then we'll get to the key players after this. I don't really know if there's much that I can say about the Michigan offense that I haven't said before. Michigan's offense, and I said this. You know what? I'll say something that I haven't said on the podcast, but I did say at work today. I am not kidding when I say that if you put John O'Korn, one of the worst Michigan football quarterbacks that I have ever seen, into this Michigan offense, they're better.
Yes, you did say that.
This current version of the Michigan offense is that bad at the quarterback position specifically.
The
offensive line. Continue.
I believe your exact words, because I think you said it at work. Unless you said it at the top of this podcast, and I just brain broke. I believe your exact words were, "We could find a MAC quarterback better than any of these guys."
I have said that, yes. The conversation I'm referring to was after you were gone, but yes, I have said those words as well. And I've also said that, and especially after this last game where Jack Tuttle played, like I said, you look at the stat line, you think he played all right. He didn't.
Fuck. So many sacks.
More sacks because he's holding on to the ball too long than any quarterback I've probably ever seen. Like, there were so many times that I'm watching this game absolutely fall away and Illinois pull away, where I'm just like, just please throw the ball. I don't care if you throw a pick. And I think that's why he's so afraid to throw the football, is because he doesn't want to turn it over in terms of Jack Tuttle. But he still also throws picks.
I'd say he still threw what, 2 interceptions?
He threw 1 pick, fumbled twice, lost 1. 2 total turnovers.
I would say the 1 interception he threw was not good.
No. And they're just. You go back to the start of the season, Davis Warren is a worse version of Jack Tuttle. Davis Warren just turns the ball over more. There's nothing that either one of them does better in terms of actual arm talent, accuracy, whatever. Davis Warren just makes some of the worst reads that you've ever seen. That game against Texas, every interception, his only incompletions of the entire game, got progressively worse as that game went.
Was that Texas or Arkansas State?
I think that was Arkansas
No,
State,
it was
right?
Arkansas State. Texas was bad too, but Arkansas State was the one where yes, he did. He all of his incompletions were picks,
And they got worse.
and they got worse as the game went on. And it's just like I don't know what you're seeing. I don't want you on my field anymore. And then all of a sudden, Alex Orji comes in. He can't complete a pass over 5 yards, so that's phenomenal. Going into this game, Sharon has said that the plan is to stick with Jack Tuttle. Come Saturday, who the fuck knows what Sharon's gonna do. I think Alex Orji gives us the best chance to win this game because he's the only one who has any sort of, I can't even really call it pocket awareness, but mobility.
I would say.
To actually try and extend plays.
Can at least leave the pocket.
Yeah, like Jack Tuttle will leave the pocket, but more often than not won't escape the hash marks.
No.
He's still he's in the middle of the field. He's not trying to get to the edge. He's just trying to get, well, he's trying to get to the edge, but he's trying to get to the edge beyond the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. Just buying time. Buying time that he doesn't do anything with. I don't understand how we came into this season with these as our options at quarterback. It's absolutely miserable. The only chance we have on the ground, or in this game, is really on the ground. That's where you have to get the bulk of your offense. The only problem is with a less talented team running the same offense as we did when this team was good, it doesn't work. When every team in the country, on our schedule or not, knows what the fuck you're going to do. You're running on first down. You're running on second down. You might even run it on third down. We were running with an award-winning offensive line for at least 2022, was in contention for the top offensive line in 2023, and now you don't return a single starter from that into this year. It becomes like, what are we doing? Now, the offensive line has shown massive strides. Running game is, I can't say more consistent than a year ago, because it definitely isn't. Blake Corum was just a dude. Donovan Edwards has decided to not completely shit the bed in every other game but Ohio State, Big Ten Championship, National Championship, or playoff or whatever. He's actually averaging just about 5 yards a carry, where in this point last year, he was averaging, I want to say, under 3. So, Donovan Edwards is, we'll get to him later. Spoiler alert, he's one of my key players. But also, just the running game in general. Khalil Mullings at times has looked like the better running back. And then other times, Donovan Edwards has kind of gotten some separation. So, huge key in this game, for sure. And it might be the only way Michigan moves the football. Who the fuck knows? I said this probably after the Texas loss. We might as well run the triple option. I think we'd have a more successful and productive offense if we just ran the triple option. However, we do move into the defense, which has taken a step back, as you do when you lose what you did to the draft and just graduation in general, coming off the national championship. They're still perfectly fine, ranking fairly well when it comes to yards allowed per game, 326 yards a game. That ranks 24th. Points per game is really more so, I think, in terms of it, the team's bad ranking defensively, has to be more on the offense. The offense has put the defense in some really bad spots this year. They rank 40th in points per game allowed with 22.1. The defense is a very key spot in this game. Will Johnson, is he gonna play? Who the fuck knows? He's still questionable. Very, very limited. I think he played briefly against Illinois, but not very much. He's kind of been dealing with injuries all year long. Defense is very, very key. Got to be able to get to Aiden Childs. Got to be able to bring down Aiden Childs if this defense is to have any success, because that offense is just going to go through him. Complete difference when you look at the Michigan State offense, where they're able to throw the ball downfield, as are most teams in college football in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024. Michigan is not. We run an offense that should not rely on the forward pass. But it's... I like our defense heading into this game. Now, I liked Iowa's defense heading into Michigan State's game with Iowa. Aiden Childs proved me wrong on that. Aiden Childs seems to be playing his best football right now, and that is a little bit terrifying.
Okay,
Really,
I'm back. Did I miss anything important?
No, I'm just wrapping up the defensive preview.
Oh, perfect.
By the way, you look stat-wise, both of the turnover differentials on these teams.
Oh.
It's terrible. Wasn't it like -6 and -7 or something?
Michigan State is tied for 111th. Michigan is tied for 117th.
Oh my God! Like,
they are just absolutely brutal both teams in that regard. But I've said what I have to say. Michigan needs a defensive game. You have to keep MSU's points to a minimum because you can't outscore anyone.
I have one thing I want to say on Jack Tuttle, and I told you this when you and I were texting about this game after I got home from the 7-hour fucking debacle golf tournament we had.
Yes.
On Saturday. I think Jack Tuttle wants to die. That's it. That's all I got. Give me some
I don't know.
Like, that's all I got on that. Like, how many sacks did he take Saturday?
Well, I got rid of the stats for this game, so give me 1 second, and I will have those back up for you.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
I didn't think we were going to need that again.
I was just curious.
Okay. Top 25, week 8. What do we got? Gotta find the game.
Because it felt like he got sacked like 7 times.
Where the fuck's the game? There it is. Okay, box score. Jack Tuttle.
5.
It felt like way more than that.
It felt like
5.
It felt like it was way more. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. It felt, and granted, Avery and I had to listen to this game on radio because our internet was that bad.
My guess is that he got back to the line of scrimmage and probably gained a half yard enough to the point that this wasn't 12.
Okay.
He was in the backfield running around a lot, not throwing the ball downfield. So I think that might have saved him, and it just didn't come across as the fact that he didn't get sacked 12 times.
I would say because
it certainly felt like it.
It felt like he got sacked 8, 9, 10 times. Because at least I got home in time to watch the second half of that game, and
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I watched that too.
We had Avery and I had the first half on radio because our internet was that bad Saturday that we couldn't even watch it while we were waiting for 12 people to get off the goddamn course from the tournament that started at 10 a.m.
Cries in Tigers postseason baseball. That was my life.
Yeah.
Lot of radio.
Yeah, we had to, and it felt like, and I don't even know who the radio guys are for Michigan.
Usually Doug Karsh and John Jansen.
Okay. And yeah, it just seemed like every time I would hear something, and Tuttle goes down in the backfield again. It felt like every time, and I heard one of them, he just needs to throw a freaking ball. And, yeah. That's all I got.
Sounds like John Jansen to me.
Yeah, it's probably who it was, and
It would make sense to be John Jansen, former offensive lineman. He's taking sacks. That makes the offensive line look bad. But everyone with eyes can see that Jack Tuttle is taking sacks because he's not throwing the ball. Throw it to the sideline. I don't care.
Yeah.
Throw it to the sideline and go 3 and out. Punt the ball.
Yeah, you're at least not losing field position that way, taking 7-yard sacks.
Exactly.
Okay. Give me some key players for both teams. Just a few.
I do kind of have to apologize to Kaleb. I only gave him about a 6-hour notice on the key player thing. So hopefully he's ready.
I mean, I already kind of mentioned them all, so I could just name them.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're all offensive players. I would say Aiden Childs, Nick Marsh. You know what? Jonathan Kim, damn it, the kicker.
Hey,
Fair,
he is the key player for this game, the only one.
Yeah, and so this is actually one thing when it comes to the kicking game for both of these teams that is actually probably the strength. Like Jonathan Kim is a very good kicker. Like I said earlier, he's going to get himself drafted. And Dominic Zavada, I think, has missed 1 kick all year.
And it was blocked.
Last week. Last game. Yeah. So let me check. Yeah, so granted, smaller sample size, but Zavada is 8 of 9.
But still,
reliable kicking games for both of these teams. The only reason that kick got blocked is because of a bad hold in the first place.
Oh, God, that was
Jonathan Kim is a very fair key player ahead of this game.
Alrighty, we got my Michigan State key players. Jordan?
So I mentioned one of them earlier while you were gone, I think, actually, and that is Donovan Edwards. Donovan Edwards, you look back to the previous 2 seasons, especially last year, he was his biggest moments were in big games. And when it comes to Michigan right now, if you're looking to make a bowl game, let alone do anything else, because I don't think you've already lost 3 games. Granted, 2 of those losses are to ranked opponents, but I mean, Illinois was ranked 22nd. So there is not a route to the playoff unless fucking chaos happens.
Yeah, in which also they still would have to probably win the Big Ten.
Yeah, and that's just not a realistic thing. Like at this point in time.
Yeah.
The run of 3 straight Big Ten championships was real nice. It's just not realistic right now. But Donovan Edwards has to live up to that. He's got to have a big game for sure. And now I'm not saying Khalil Mullings doesn't have to. But if we're only getting rushing production out of Khalil Mullings, that's when things are going to go really south. You need to have both backs on. You need Edwards and Mullings to be on their best. And I have no reason to believe that they won't, because I really feel like for both teams, the importance of this game, more so than just the in-state rivalry aspect to it all, it's going to be stressed just how important this is to your season and even, reaching a bowl game or anything else. Michigan State, I think they're going to be fine. Michigan, who the fuck knows?
They have a tough schedule.
You win this game, it's win number 5. Win number 6 is not going to come easy. You have to have this one. So Donovan Edwards is a big game player. He is key player number 1. Will Johnson, that sounds like a cop-out a little bit, because obviously one of the best corners in all of college football is going to be key, but the key part is, does he even play? That's where we get into this. Lingering injuries for the last couple weeks. If it's up to him, I'm sure he's going to be out there. Hopefully not to a detriment, like he's not ready and is not going to be fully healthy and able to play a very key position for us, because when he's on the field, quarterbacks don't look to his side for the most part.
Yeah, you lose a third of the field.
Yeah, he's been targeted more this year than in years past, but like I said, he has been dealing with some stuff, so he becomes a much more easy target than he otherwise would be. He's still just incredible. He's a phenomenal defender, phenomenal cornerback. That is key player number 2. You look like you wanted to say something.
Do you have a third one? Because if you have a third one, I'll wait.
I do indeed have a third one.
Go ahead.
And it's not exactly a key player, but rather the entire Michigan offensive line.
Fair.
Now, I said in the offensive preview that they are making great strides. The MSU defense doesn't exactly impose a lot of fear. However, you still got to be on it. You got to be able to make sure you're making holes for the most important part of your offense in the running game. They all have to be on their game. One of them's not. It could go really, really wrong. So the offensive line, big part.
That it?
Yep.
Okay, so real quick on Donovan Edwards, and you and I were talking about this at work. He is, and I've been, I don't want to say critical of his decision to stay at Michigan because he was not phenomenal last year other than 3 games. Well, 4 games counting the Big Ten championship. Last year, even with those 4 games against Ohio State, the Big Ten championship, Alabama, and the national championship against Washington, he only averaged 2.3 yards a carry, if I remember correctly, 2.4.
Like that.
That's just how bad he was beforehand. And I mean, granted, he wasn't getting a lot of touches because Blake Corum was so good. He's quietly putting himself a season to get a decent enough season together when he has good games. When he has good games, he is very good. When he has bad games, you'll want to rip your eyeballs out.
Accurate.
So there's that. And my second one, and this is more about Will Johnson. You're more tuned to Michigan and Michigan football social media than I am. I just see some things from the fringe outlier delusional Michigan psychos more often than not on my Twitter page. Do you think there's because I've seen a lot of people saying this, and I kind of think they're fucking idiots, but I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Do you think there's a chance that depending on what this injury is, and if he can't recover from it, Will Johnson does sit out the rest of the season to prep for the draft?
Yeah, there's a chance.
Okay.
Because I would imagine.
Like I said,
I wouldn't blame him.
No, I wouldn't either. Like I said, the people I see from Michigan involving Michigan football are usually the crazy delusional ones that are the fire everybody crowd. So I was just curious as to what your opinion was on that, or if you'd even seen any of that.
I actually haven't, so
okay.
I don't scroll a lot of Michigan Twitter. I don't really scroll a lot of Twitter at all anymore. Yeah. But I would not blame him whatsoever.
Okay, that's.
By the way, final score: Pistons have indeed started the season 0-1.
Oh, I was hoping you were gonna say 1-0. I should probably check on how
the entire game.
Oh no!
33 points in the fourth quarter, as opposed to 19. Pacers, by the way, 33 points in the fourth quarter, 19 for the Pistons.
Oh no!
He did almost score 30 points.
That sounds accurate.
The Cavs are up 102-79 on Toronto with.
Oh my!
Wow, the third quarter just ended.
I may have news. I don't know if you guys saw, but Grayson McCall is hanging it up, retiring.
Is he really?
Notice that? Yeah.
I did not see that.
He suffered a concussion and has medically retired.
That was brutal.
Yes, it was. Smart decision by McCall. Tua, your turn, please.
Oh god. Not only is he not gonna retire, he's not even gonna wear the Guardian cap.
He may die.
I think that's what he's going for.
I think so. Let's get on to the picks.
All right. Well, I tried to configure the normal picks music, but I kind of didn't really remember that we were, I was doing this from my normal Twitch scenes and all that. So We don't have music this week.
Oh.
I tried to do it. It was getting in the way of the cameras. I gave up.
Fair. Lead us off, Jordan. Take us to the promised land of picks. We don't have records this week. I kind of forgot. Should probably mention that.
Well, we don't have actual records, but I do. Hold on, really quickly. I do lead the picks with 61 correct picks. No idea how many games we have picked. Austin is down at 51, and Kaleb, who is in this pool but I think forgot, is at 35.
Yeah.
Is it 30?
I've missed like 2 or 3 straight weeks.
I only got 5 picks last week out of 15. By the way, my college picks have been turbo ass.
The week after, you only got 3 right, correct?
Yep.
Oh,
Hey, I'm trending the right way.
that's true.
I guess. After trending in the wrong direction for a long time.
Give me the picks.
So we start off with the college picks in a game that's happening right fucking now.
Pants. Hey,
Football isn't real, right?
5-0 Liberty. 5-0 Liberty was minus 23.5. We are in the fourth quarter with just under 12 minutes to go. Against, by the way, 0-6 Kennesaw State in their first year in FBS.
Yep.
Kennesaw State currently leads 24-17.
Go Owls.
I was on Liberty because
Same.
I've watched a Kennesaw State game. They are fucking terrible.
Wait, you watched this team play football?
I've watched Kennesaw. I called a Liberty game a couple weeks ago.
Well, that makes
What
sense.
the fuck is this?
Liberty is
give
not
us
covering.
death, apparently.
Yeah, apparently we're taking death.
We're all dead. We got a couple of Friday games as well. 10:30 on CBS Sports Network. Boise State up to 17 in the country. They are minus 3.5, taking on UNLV and Lord knows who at quarterback.
Hajj Malik Williams, I believe, unless he's injured.
Sure.
I believe he's still there.
You could have made up a name and I wouldn't know.
I mean, the only reason I know is because I called a UNLV game. Give me Ashton Jonte. Give me Boise by a shit. Like I said, I called a UNLV game a few weeks ago. They did some really good things. They blocked 2 Syracuse punts. This team, UNLV's a good team, but defensively, they just can't get off the field. And, I mean, they might not be on the field a whole lot because Ashton Jonte might run for 5,000 yards and 27 scores.
Kaleb, are you picking games as well?
Yeah, Boise State.
Okay. All right, Boise State.
All the
We're all
way.
on Boise. Friday at 11 p.m. on Fox, Rutgers travels away from the birthplace. They are now 4-3 after starting 4-0, and they are plus 13.5, taking on the USC Trojans, who are also a dumpster fire. Austin, what is your pick?
If you have $9 and you're in Los Angeles, don't go to this game. This game's gonna fucking suck.
That's incredible. But hey, the Coliseum's a great stadium.
For NASCAR.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. No, it kind of sucks for NASCAR too.
Yeah. 13.5 is too much. Give me stupid Rutgers because USC is fucking pitiful.
Wow. Kaleb?
Now I take Rutgers too. That spread is way too high for how shit USC is.
USC is shit, but Rutgers the last 3 weeks has been more shit, and I don't think we're going to be talking enough about the fact that Rutgers literally has to travel from about as far as you can get on the East Coast to about as far as you can get on the West Coast.
That is true.
That is a fucking trip. Give me USC. Give me the Trojans.
Played at 11 p.m. Eastern time. This like sets up for a game that I would call on a sidecast, but I have to work.
End at 2:30 in the morning.
This sets up for a game I would call on a sidecast, and I didn't do it to myself.
Actually, it's on Fox. It's probably gonna end after 3 a.m.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because it's Big Ten on Fox.
I will not be
Exactly.
watching that.
Neither will I.
Friday?
Saturday.
Maybe I will.
Oh,
Into Saturday morning, yeah.
oh, you're still on Rutgers USC.
Yeah, no. I hadn't moved on yet.
Oh,
No,
I'm sorry.
Saturday now at noon, the actual college football slate. Number 12 Notre Dame travels to face now ranked at 24, 6-0 Navy. Navy is plus 11.5.
Give me the midshipmen.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's go.
Yeah.
We had the sacrifice at the Irish altar a few weeks ago with Purdue getting tombstoned.
Oh.
So it's time. It's just time for another Notre Dame goof up.
Yeah, it's time for another Notre Dame goof up. Kaleb, what are you on?
Oh, Navy for sure. Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois and paid them buku bucks to go play and just to lose.
Yeah, and on
Yes,
that,
they did.
that loss is getting weirder and weirder because people thought Northern Illinois, oh, hey, they might have a shot at the college football playoff.
Oh,
They were in the
terrible.
picks. They were in the picks the couple weeks after that, and then they shit the bed.
They're fucking awful.
I think that makes Notre Dame look worse.
Oh, yes.
So, I am on Navy as well. So we're all on Navy. However, I don't know if Navy wins this game, but 11.5 points against a fucking triple option offense seems like a lot in general. So just give me Navy. I think they might actually keep this close. I don't know if they're gonna win the game. I'm not full on the Notre Dame version of the Purdue, but give me Navy. Saturday Big Ten Network, Washington at 4-3, travels to, for the second week in a row, the block of concrete in Bloomington to take on 7-0, 13th ranked fucking Indiana.
You remember how, and Jordan, we kind of talked about this. No, we were texting about this. Remember how we thought Rutgers was going to be a wagon?
Mm-hmm.
Indiana might be
the long red and white team.
Yeah, Indiana might be that wagon. God, Washington isn't good. Will Rogers transferred from Mississippi State to Washington. Mississippi State's ass. Will Rogers ain't very good. Washington's not very good. Give me the Hoosiers. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah. Kaleb?
This may be, I mean, there's two teams involved with this, but Washington may be one of the biggest fall offs I've ever seen. Sorry, Michigan's the other one.
I was going to
But
say, yeah.
I know they both lost a lot, but holy shit. And then you got Indiana, who at the beginning of the year was like, yeah, Indiana's going to be 7-0, ranked 13th in the country. Absolutely fucking nobody.
Not a fucking soul.
Like,
So give me Indiana by a metric fuck ton.
That offense is very impressive, I think, for Indiana. They can
Yes, they are.
They can outscore just about anybody. I'm curious as to who's going to stop this run. It certainly won't be Michigan a couple weeks from now. That
Hey,
game ain't gonna be close.
A MAC quarterback is making Indiana good.
Mhm.
yeah.
Give me the Hoosiers. Not even a question. This one is only a question because it is a large spread. Saturday noon on Fox, Nebraska's 5-2. They're plus 25.5 taking on the number 4 Ohio State Buckeyes. It's a lot of points, but maybe not so much in terms of an Ohio State game.
Yeah, in terms of an Ohio State game, it's not a lot of points. We saw what Nebraska's defense did against a offense with a pulse last week. I don't know if the Patrick Mahomes cosplayer is actually even going to play this game. He left the Indiana game at points with injuries. He's not listed on the injury report. It don't matter. OH by more than 26. I had to look at the number again. I almost said more than 25.5.
All right.
Yeah.
Kaleb, who are you on?
Nebraska. I almost said Nebraska. That's not my pick. I love when Nebraska comes up because, you know, we've had plenty of conversations amongst the three of us about Nebraska might be good this year. Well, Jordan and I think they might be good. Austin is like punching his desk and is like, fuck no.
Throwback to a couple years ago when we said Nebraska was the best awful team in all of college football because they kept losing one-score games.
Yeah, they're so. And I thought this year they're 5-2, but they're the most fraudulent 5-2 team I've ever seen. Give me Ohio State.
Yep.
Probably by 60 easily.
Yeah, I don't know about 60. Dylan Raiola has just gone through the growing pains. He just hasn't been it for Nebraska just yet. But what do you expect starting a true freshman, especially at a school like Nebraska where it's just not, they're not there yet.
No.
And they got a long road to go to get there. They won 5 games. Good for them. Ohio State all the way. How do you compete with the $20 million roster that Ohio State possesses? Saturday, 3:30, ABC. We got a big game here in the SEC and possibly in the college football playoff conversation. Number 21, Missouri, 6-1. They are plus 13.5, taking on number 15, Alabama.
You want to bring the people into this one just for old time's sake?
Well, the people are relatively split. Only 52% are on Alabama.
Some people say I'm a man of the people. In this case, they're wrong. This Alabama team looks pitiful, pathetic, awful, shit,
So does Mizzou.
ass. I'm not saying Missouri's going to win this game. 13.5 is way too many fucking points, though. Give me Missouri.
Fair.
Eli Drinkwitz will do some fucking magic.
Moving on.
Anybody else? I would say.
I think Bama's gonna win this game. I think Mizzou will cover, but I think Bama wins.
Okay.
Mizzou
That's
is
fair.
potentially without Brady Cook, starting quarterback, or is without. So I don't know how good he is, but I saw that in the injury report.
Say
so
he is their starter.
But I think Mizzou
Yep.
covers, but Bama wins.
Yep. Brady Kirk currently listed as doubtful. I do think Mizzou covers this. You're talking about a team. Both teams just need this game in a really, really bad way. And there's just there's no trustworthy team here.
No.
Both have shit the bed all year long. I'm gonna take Mizzou in the points, but I have no idea who's gonna win this thing. Saturday, 3:30, Big Ten Network, a Big Ten shit fest. 3-4 Northwestern is plus 13.5, traveling to Kinnick to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I've called a Northwestern game. They lost the Battle of the Nerds to Duke. I've watched an Iowa
Game was incredible.
Incredibly bad.
Yes.
I've watched Iowa football a couple times, and they're not great either, but they're less ass than Northwestern. Give me the Hawkeyes.
All right, on to Kaleb.
Yeah, I'll take the Hawkeyes too. Northwestern, I don't know. Can we even feel bad for them anymore?
Nope.
No. I was in between on this one. Northwestern has played well enough at times this year. I just don't see that traveling to Kinnick Stadium. A lot of weird fucking voodoo there. They got the pink locker room to deal with. Give me Iowa. I debated long enough. I'm going Iowa. Speaking of Big Ten shitfest,
This is
Saturday 3:30 on FS1. The Maryland Terrapins, who are abysmal,
Yep.
plus 4.5, taking on PJ Fleck's Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Maryland is coming off a very big come-from-behind win against a pitiful USC team.
Yes.
Emotional letdown. Give me Minnesota in a game that's going to be absolutely donkey shit.
Very true. Kaleb,
Row the boat.
row the boat. I believe in PJ Fleck. I don't know why. Just because of his time at Western. I shouldn't like PJ Fleck, given that Michigan and Minnesota are rivals. But I do. So give me the Golden Gophers. I do want them to be at least a little bit of a threat in the Big Ten. Please, for once in my life. 3:30 on CBS, number 20, Illinois. 6-1 travels to Autzen to likely die. Oregon minus 21.5.
Illinois is not going to win this game. This is a lot of points, but Illinois did not look impressive last week.
No.
I don't want to take Oregon here because, again, this is a lot of points. But as you said, likely die in Autzen. Give me the Ducks.
On to Kaleb.
Yeah, the Ducks, I think, win this one and cover.
Yeah. Tickets, by the way, starting at $60 but that's besides the point. I'm gonna take Oregon. This is essentially just a measuring stick game for Illinois. They will lose the game. Once again, we get back into the long travel that the Fighting Illini have ahead of this game. And traditional Big Ten teams traveling out west and the West teams traveling to traditional Big Ten teams have not fared well
Been a struggle
all year. Very few examples of that happening. So give me Oregon to cover and win, of course.
Also, another one on this. Possible emotional letdown for Illinois. Their fans stormed the fucking field after beating Michigan last week in that shit fest.
I told you it was gonna happen.
You did call that.
I said that in the second quarter. I was like, they're storming the field. For one, I didn't believe Michigan was gonna win that game after the second quarter, and two, this is still a big win for them and their fan base. They think it's like taking on the national championship team of a year ago, and it's not. They had that chance, and it didn't work out all that well.
Yeah.
I knew they were storming the field from the time that game essentially kicked off.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm on Oregon, if I didn't say it. 4:15 SEC Network, number 5, Texas, trying to rebound after whatever the fuck that was last week. Against a ranked Vanderbilt team at 5-2. Vanderbilt plus 18.5.
Texas is gonna roll this game. Like, I don't know what happened last week. They're gonna find a way just to smash Vanderbilt.
They benched Quinn Ewers
for like 2 drives.
Actually, I know, but they actually benched him.
Yeah, I don't know what Sark was doing.
We're down, I think, 21-0 or something at the time. Maybe 20-0. I don't know. And just said, we want to see if Arch can do any better.
Yeah, and then Arch didn't, so they trotted Ewers back out. It was just
that game broke Texas that much.
They're gonna.
I would love to see Vanderbilt cover. They're not gonna.
Yeah. It's gonna be a Roman Reigns wreck everybody and leave kind of game for.
Yeah, Texas needs to come out and just hammer down. I'm assuming Kaleb gave your pick. Yes.
I mean, I would love to see Vanderbilt win this game. You know, they beat Alabama. Not many can say they can do that, but Texas is Texas, and Vanderbilt is dead after Saturday.
Fair
enough. Into the nighttime primetime slate, Saturday 7:30 on ABC. Surprisingly, number 8 LSU is 6-1. The Brian Kelly effect is in full swing. Maybe
until he explosive diarrheas.
14th ranked Texas A&M. This is a close spread. LSU is a 2.5-point road dog.
I've been burned on this several. Drop my pen. Several. More times than we can count on this podcast and Backdoor Cover.
Several?
I don't know what Vegas is seeing here. Neither of these teams are great. LSU's less ass. LSU's going to cover 2.5. I don't understand why Texas A&M's favored.
I don't get it either. But on to Kaleb.
LSU. I know nothing about either of these teams, but I think LSU is the better team.
LSU is the better team. I don't know if they have the better head coach. Because at the end of the day, we are talking about Brian Kelly.
I do like Elko better than Brian Kelly.
I'm not getting enough points to take Texas A&M. I really wish I could, but give me the LSU Tigers. We are going to skip over the next... Well, do we want to do Michigan State, Michigan last, or do we want to do it now?
It's up to you guys.
I'm down for whatever.
How many more games we got? Oh,
2.
we only got 2 more games.
2.
So we'll skip that. We'll do that last in the college picks. Saturday, 7:30 on NBC. Number 3, Penn State, undefeated, -6.5, taking on Wisconsin.
This could be a trap game for Penn State.
Yep.
Ohio State next week. Wisconsin's just not very good, though, so give me Penn State.
All right, to Kaleb.
Yeah, I like Penn State here.
If there were ever a game that I could see Penn State losing, it might be this one. They don't have a very tough Big Ten schedule, really, at all. You know what? I'm rolling the dice. Give me Wisconsin. Penn State has put some absolute clunkers out there this year.
Yes, they have.
So is Wisconsin. But on the road, who the hell knows?
Fair.
So I'm gonna take the points, even though I'm not even getting a touchdown. This game happening Sunday morning, midnight. 3-5 Nevada, minus 2.5, traveling to the island to take on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii.
I wanted to call this game for my sidecast, but it's not anywhere on TV.
In the morning.
I don't care that I have to work Sunday because you're going to be in Ann Arbor.
Yes, correct.
I wanted to call this game, but I couldn't find it anywhere on TV to call it.
Yeah, no, there's not a TV channel listed. It just Sunday at midnight.
Yeah, weird things happen on the island, but they're not good. Give me Nevada.
Kaleb, give us your opinion on two teams that you've probably never watched.
If you have $21.42, keep it in your pocket. I've actually watched Hawaii football this year.
That's more than I have.
Sorry.
It's bad, but give me the Rainbow Warriors at home.
Alrighty.
I'm taking Hawaii too. I don't really know why, but close spread. Hawaii's at home. I don't know if that's gonna matter.
Goofy shit happens on that island, man.
Exactly. I'm taking Hawaii. We are finally to the whole point of this show. Saturday, 7:30, Big Ten Network. The 4-3 Michigan State Spartans taking on the 4-3 Michigan Wolverines. Michigan, at least in terms of the CBS picks, minus 5.5. That spread has gone down considerably with the live lines. If
we were getting the live spread, because I think the live spread's down to 2.5 or 3.
At last checked, it was 3.5.
Okay. Well, at this current line at 5.5, I don't like Michigan here. I think this is going to be a field goal game one way or the other. I don't know if Michigan State can win it, but I think, like I said, it's going to be a 3-point game. Give me the Spartans to cover.
Fair. To our resident Spartan in Kaleb.
I mean, well, obviously, you know who I'm picking. I think this spread, even at, I mean, it's gone down, but 5.5, to me, I'd make this just a push. Even these teams are both equally as bad. I mean, Michigan's at home, great.
In different ways, yes.
Grand, but I don't know. I'm picking Michigan State. We know who you're picking.
Yeah.
But I think this game is split down the middle on whoever's going to play less fast is going to be the winner of this game. Probably a 3 to 4 point game at most.
Yeah. So you did mention, you said it's a home game for Michigan. Woo. That's exactly right. Last 10 games, 5-5 at Michigan Stadium.
Oh.
So there's that. I really wish I was getting this at 3.5. I don't really think I can do anything else. Bad juju would come if I pick MSU. Surely. Now, I am interested in terms of what the people see on this. We'll bring them up again. 68% of the people are on Michigan.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Having watched every single play that Michigan's run this year, I really don't understand why.
Well, since you've made your pick, I have one final question before we move on to the NFL picks from both of you. And it could be just a yes or no. I am calling this game on Saturday night for my sidecast. How many turnovers will I see?
Oh, God.
Collectively or per team?
collective, just combined turnovers.
6.
Okay.
I'm gonna go a little bit lower. I am thinking 2 Jack Tuttle interceptions and/or fumbles, 2 turnovers in general. 1 Aiden Childs turnover and a random turnover somewhere else for MSU.
So we're saying 4. 6 and 4. My answer is yes. How many turnovers am I going to see? Yes.
I mean, you got 2 teams that are some of the worst in the country at turnover differential, so that makes all the sense in the world. So,
let's move on to the NFL picks.
All right, to the NFL picks. Austin's good. I stink.
Yeah, I'm at 63 and whatever. Jordan's at 49 and whatever.
It's been rough. However, I'm starting to get out of the basement a little bit towards 500 every week. We're hoping things turn around this week. We're doing the podcast on a Wednesday for once, so this game is not currently happening. The 5-1 Minnesota Vikings -3.5 taking on the LA Rams.
Rams stink. Give me the Vikings.
This is an interesting game, by the way, because even though this has been shut down, there were Matthew Stafford to the Vikings rumors.
There
last
were.
Couple days.
Kennesaw State is 2 minutes away from winning their first FBS game.
Oh my.
Fuck my life. Kaleb, what's your pick?
Look, I like the Vikings in this game. I don't think Sam Darnold's that good. I'm not sold.
That's fair.
But the Vikings do win. The Rams are pretty bad.
Yeah, Rams are just an absolute mess. We got Cooper Kupp trade talk. We got Matthew Stafford trade talk. I don't think either of those things are going to happen. But give me the Vikings here on this one. And into the Sunday slate, the 1 o'clock slate.
No Europe game.
We don't have a London game. The 5-2 Baltimore Ravens are -10.5, taking on the 1-6 dumpster fire known as the Cleveland Browns.
Kevin Stefanski's not calling plays. It doesn't matter. Browns stink. Give me the Ravens.
For what that's worth. Kaleb.
Yeah, I think Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry could go onto the field themselves and beat this team. So give me the Ravens to cover and win.
Yeah, I know 10.5 is a lot for the NFL, but I am taking Baltimore. Hopefully this is the game that we brought it up before, sends Zadarius Smith to Detroit. Now, you're 1-6 now. 1-7 really shouldn't change all that much.
No.
But ship him to Detroit on Monday. Please. Yes. Speaking of the Detroit Football Lions, 1 o'clock on Fox, the 1-5 Tennessee Titans are also +10.5, taking on the Detroit Football Lions at Ford Field.
Titans stink. Give me the Lions.
Will Levis is questionable, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Who that means might start, I don't know.
Okay.
Kaleb, I don't really think there's a lot of question as to who you're going to pick, but...
Oh, no. But this is a game right here, and we talked about it earlier, that you should play one whole complete game of football. It is the Tennessee Titans. They are terrible. We should win. We should score more than we did against Dallas, and Dallas is terrible too. But give me the Lions, of course. Jared Goff is my hero.
Correct. This offense, the last 4 weeks has been on an incredible level. I don't really think the defense matters all that much when you're up against this offense for Tennessee. Give me the Lions. I'd take this at 14.5. To be honest.
Yeah.
I think this is at least the 17-point win easily. Like, good Lord. 1 o'clock CBS. The Indianapolis Colts are 4-3. Anthony Richardson is back, I think. Which is a little bit unfortunate. Shout out Joe Flacco. But +5.5 taking on a very good 5-2 Houston Texans team.
Finally, a game of two teams that don't stink. This game might actually be worth watching for just a neutral fan, casual fan. Colts are too inconsistent. Give me the Texans.
To be fair, in each of the first 3 games, only one team stunk.
Yeah, we're going to get to some games where both teams stink in a minute.
Oh, yes, we are. Kaleb, your pick.
This matchup has been played already this season, correct?
Yes.
Colts, Texans?
I believe so. They're getting this divisional matchup out of the way early.
Texans won week 1.
If the Colts were healthy, I would pick them to win because CJ Stroud is coming off one of the worst games I have ever seen.
Yeah, he struggled.
But the Texans are better. Yeah, so give me the Texans.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Texans are better. I mean, both teams are banged up in this game.
Jonathan Taylor is still questionable. Michael Pittman questionable. The big one.
You don't have to tell me. I drafted Jonathan Taylor in fantasy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The big one defensively for the Colts. DeForest Buckner is on IR with an ankle injury. Yeah, the Texans are just way too banged up. Or not the
They're
Texans,
banged up,
the
but
Colts.
Not enough for me to pick the Colts. I'm still rocking with the Texans because both teams have a boatload of injuries right now.
Yeah, they do.
Spread in that regard, but give me Houston. I just think that CJ Stroud. That was not only the worst game, one of the worst games, of the year so far, quarterback wise. It was probably the worst game I've ever seen CJ Stroud play in the NFL by a good margin. He is just really, he's played outstanding, really since his NFL career started. But so I don't see that happening 2 weeks in a row. Give me the Texans. 1 o'clock on Fox. The 5-2 Green Bay Packers -4.5 taking on another dumpster fire, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jags stink.
Back at home after 2 weeks in London.
Yeah, Jags are finally back in Jacksonville here in America. The Jags stink. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, Packers win this.
I know it probably pains you to pick the Packers, Caleb, and it does me the same. I have been trying to root for the Packers' downfall all year long. Hasn't happened yet. Jags are awful. So give me the Packers. Jordan Love is healthy-ish, I guess.
Healthy enough.
Packers pretty easily on that one. 1 o'clock on Fox. The 3-4 Arizona Cardinals +2.5 taking on the Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins without Tua just aren't very good. Give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, why are the Dolphins favored in this game?
This is one of those trap games, Vegas-wise. We always say,
Yep.
What does Vegas see? I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what Vegas is smoking, but
It's like Tua's on
Dolphins are terrible.
Tua's on IR. Skylar Thompson is questionable. Tyler Huntley is questionable.
Let's say right
Who
now
the fuck is playing quarterback? CJ Beathard?
CJ Beathard, I think, is actually on the practice squad now, or I thought I saw.
Just got signed today. Yes.
might
Tua
be-
says in chat that Tua is back. Is that confirmed? Because currently he's still listed on IR.
Tua should just stay home.
He's
He returns to practice.
yeah. First practice. He was returned to practice today.
He should retire.
He should.
That is the case. I might take Miami then.
If he's back, I'd probably take Miami, but
if he plays, yes.
I want to change my pick.
Yeah.
By the way, quick sidebar here from the picks. I found this article where it says Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa returns to practice, set to wear safest helmet for quarterbacks despite Guardian cap refusal. He is wearing the Vices 02,
Yep.
which is the same helmet he's worn previously.
Also, yes.
What? Then what does it matter if it's the safest helmet? Tua is dragging those stats down.
I'm saying, yeah.
Significantly.
Tua's hurting
Jesus.
that.
It's only getting worse.
You know what? I'm gonna take the Dolphins in the event that he does play clear protocol and play, because that Cardinals defense has just been too inconsistent. And then Kyler Murray apparently hates Marvin Harrison Jr. and only throws to Greg Dortch, his fellow fucking tiny person.
So for the moment, I will take the Cardinals, but with the sidebar of if Tua plays, if he is 100% announced as being in the game, I am switching this to Miami, just so everyone's aware. 1 o'clock CBS, the New York Football Jets, who I'm never putting money on again. That was a mistake.
Pain.
-7.5, taking on probably the worst team in the NFL, the New England Patriots.
Both of these teams stink. The Jets stink a little bit less. Give me the fighting Aaron Rodgers is. Give me the New York Packers.
This Jets team shouldn't even be bad.
No,
That's the sad thing.
they shouldn't.
Have a great offense.
And a good defense. Like
And
they
a good defense,
they should
so-
be good.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is getting old, but he's going to win. But Drake May might be on the rise. But give me the Jets.
I'm glad that the Patriots are going with Drake May, because one of these weeks we're going to get a Drake May breakout. As badly as I want it to happen this week against Aaron Rodgers, I just don't know if it's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers played one of the worst games I've ever seen Aaron Rodgers play on Monday night. Or Sunday night, whatever the fuck it was. He can throw receivers like Mike Williams under the bus all he wants for running the wrong route. He can do whatever he wants. He can get his fucking team to trade for his good old buddy in Devontae Adams. Father Time is calling Aaron Rodgers, and I am here for it. However, a week of practice with Devontae, that pairing is certainly going to be more of a factor this week. Breece Hall had a game last week. The Patriots don't have a single offensive threat. Give me the Jets. 1 o'clock on Fox. We are still in the 1 o'clock slate. I don't even think a single team has a bye this week, interestingly enough. We are at 16 games. The 4-3 Atlanta Falcons taking on the 4-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers, the home team, but a 2.5-point dog.
Give me the Buccaneers here. Give me Tampa.
Okay, fair.
I'm going to take the Falcons. The Bucks, I don't know what they have on offense now.
Both teams are just too inconsistent.
Yeah, the loss, the seeming loss. I don't know if Godwin's been ruled out yet. I would imagine so. But the loss of Godwin will certainly hurt. Makes that passing game a lot more one-dimensional to Mike Evans. Both of these teams are streaky as hell. I'm on Atlanta. I can't see a way that you lose a very elite weapon in Chris Godwin, and your offense is just and your offense is just supposed to be okay. No, give me Atlanta. I will take them. Big game for Bijan Robinson. I'm trying to manifest that.
All I got on Tampa is Baker's thrown to worse wide receivers than whoever they're going to trot out there when he was at Cleveland.
This is also probably true. Could possibly be a big game for Trey Palmer.
Yeah.
Final 1 o'clock game on CBS. The 4-2 Philadelphia Eagles are plus 2.5 taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh boy, I really wish I could pick the Eagles here. I just don't know if I can. I think I'm gonna have to pick the Bengals.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna have to pick my team. The Eagles have just especially when Saquon's good, that Eagles team is good. Yes. Jalen Hurts has made some just issues. This offensively as a whole, they've struggled at points.
Nick Sirianni might be a miserable head coach.
Sirianni might be a terrible head coach. Yeah, on paper, this team should be better. This Eagles team.
Both of these teams should be.
Well, yeah, on paper, both of these teams should be better. Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Ticket prices for this game, by the way, are fucking outrageous for a game against two teams that Lord knows who the fuck they are. Kaleb, your pick.
I'll take the Bengals.
I guess I'll be the different one. I'll pick Philly. I don't really know why, outside of the fact that I'm getting a very slim amount of points. Both of these teams are not living up to the potential. I'll take the Eagles. 4:05 on Fox. The New Orleans Saints. Hot start, 2-0. Best offense in the league. They've lost 5 straight. And Derek Carr, I don't think is back yet. Saints plus 7.5 taking on Jim Harbaugh's LA Chargers.
I'm going to check one thing. If Derek Carr is still out, looks like he is not practiced. Means we're going to see more Spencer Rattler.
Hell yeah. Derek Carr currently, at least according to CBS, is listed as questionable.
Yeah. The Saints have just stunk the past 5 games. Give me the Chargers.
Yep.
Yeah, fighting Harbaugh's works for me.
I just, there's not a thought. I know the Chargers just did what they did last week, but New Orleans is now going on 5 straight games of ineptitude, and it's only gotten worse since Derek Carr's been out. Chargers, easy. 4:05 on Fox. 5-2 Buffalo Bills that just look like they could be a buzzsaw in the AFC. -3.5 taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
Buffalo. That's
Expert
an easy
analysis. Kaleb, to you.
Yeah, Buffalo. Keon Coleman breakout game.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Josh Allen is coming off a pretty incredible game. Seahawks, even though they have a pretty solid NFL running back in Kenneth Walker, they pass the ball way too much. They drive me insane. Give me Buffalo.
Like, I have no reason to... The reason I had no thought on that is I have no reason to pick Seattle. Like,
None.
Buffalo's just too good right now.
They you saw what they did against Detroit. I think Buffalo right now is the AFC's version of Detroit.
Yeah.
I could agree.
Yeah.
425 CBS. This is an interesting game. The 4-2 Chicago Bears are -2.5 taking on the Washington Commanders. And the only reason I'd imagine this spread is how it is because Jaden Daniels is currently questionable.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is still questionable. If you have $29.99 and you're in Landover, Maryland, yeah, go to this game because this game could be pretty fun. This Washington team is really fun to watch. This Bears team is surprisingly not complete ass. Give me the Washington Football Commanders.
Yeah, the 4-2 Bears that are in last place in the NFC.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Make it make sense. Kaleb, to you.
Yeah, I like Washington here. I'm not sold on Chicago. I mean, they've got a good offense, but I think Caleb Williams is getting bailed out by his offense. I would take the Commanders if Marcus Mariota started this game.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of weighed when making this pick. I was like, well, do I go to the Bears if Jaden Daniels doesn't play? No, I don't think so. Marcus Mariota came in and actually played a pretty solid game. He didn't expect to play last week. And the Commanders still did what they did against a very bad Carolina Panthers team. But only 2.5. If Jaden Daniels plays, no chance the Bears cover. If Marcus Mariota plays, very slim chance they cover. So give me Washington. 425 on CBS. And we got a shitfest. A real, good old-fashioned NFL shitfest. The 1-6 Carolina Panthers are +8.5, taking on the Denver Broncos, who, by the way, have all of a sudden gotten hot. I don't really understand how they're above 500. But the Panthers are indeed starting Bryce Young for this game.
Yeah, Andy Dalton's not very good. Who'd have thought?
Wow.
This game's ass. The Broncos are ass. The Panthers are mega ass. 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 Have I iterated ass enough?
I wish I had an ass button because I'd hit it, but I don't, so ass.
Perfect. That being said, the Broncos are less ass. They're going to cover.
Okay. Kaleb, to you.
This game might end 10-0.
I was thinking like 9 or 10, but yeah, give me Bo Nix and the Broncos.
I am taking a rejuvenated, recently named starter, Bryce Young, and the Carolina Panthers. This bit me earlier in the season. It's probably going to bite me now. Bryce Young breakout game. Let's let it happen. Give me the Panthers. That's probably not going to happen in the final 4 o'clock game. The 6-0 Kansas City Chiefs, who could very well be 3-3, are minus 9.5, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders, who might be starting Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who the Raiders are going to be starting real quick.
Because Aiden O'Connell's out.
Yep.
Gardner Minshew, I don't know if they just have that little faith in him or he's out.
He's not on the injury list. Gardner Minshew's not.
So they just hate the man. Aiden O'Connell's on IR. We know we're not going to see him. I'm not sure if any of that changes anyone's pick.
Gardner Minshew is currently listed as QB1 over Desmond Ridder, which good because Desmond
Ridder just got there 3 days ago.
And Desmond Ridder is not a good NFL quarterback.
No.
Well, no, but is Aiden O'Connell? Is Gardner Minshew?
Gardner Minshew's better than both of them. I don't care that Aiden O'Connell threw for 600 yards against Michigan State 3 years ago.
Hey, we
Um,
don't talk about it.
I wouldn't either. Cause
Further, it happened.
yeah.
Just in the wrong way.
The Chiefs are not a good 6-0 team. The Raiders just aren't a good team. The Chiefs find ways to win. They have DeAndre Hopkins.
Will he play
Yeah,
though?
that happened today.
That happened today. Will he play? I don't know. I don't think it's going to matter. Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball left-handed and they'll cover against the Raiders because the Raiders fucking suck.
He probably will throw left-handed in this game, the sick bastard.
Yeah.
At least once. We're all on KC.
100%. Yeah.
I'd love to take the Raiders, and given that KC has struggled to really blow out opponents, especially early, it's a thought. But if it was anybody else than the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
By the way, $250 to get into this game. Minimal.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah,
I
starting
don't really
price.
understand why outside of Vegas and the spaceship known as Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah.
Christ alive. We've got a good old fashioned matchup of teams that were really good a long time ago and haven't done a lot since. The Dallas Cowboys on the road, plus 4.5, taking on the San Francisco 49ers, who are possibly a dumpster fire at the moment.
49ers might be broken, but the Cowboys fucking suck. That's...
Fair.
This game is gonna suck. Give me the 49ers.
Yeah, the Cowboys fucking suck. The 49ers might suck too, but they suck less than the Cowboys. Give me San Fran.
The last time I picked Dallas, it really burned me because I picked Dallas against Detroit.
Yep, you sure did.
Believe it or not, yes. I picked them because we played nothing but close games against the Cowboys. That didn't happen for once. The 49ers just lost Brandon Ayuk for the year. McCaffrey is still not back. We're seeing this 49ers team dwindle the weapons that Brock Purdy has had the luxury of his entire NFL career so far. Deebo Samuel missed the last game with illness.
Yeah.
Like, what? This Niners team is just an absolute mess. Cowboys off a bye. I'm going to get burned on it. Give me Dallas.
Fair enough.
Monday Night Football, and thankfully, only one Monday Night Football game this week.
And it's on a real channel.
It is on a real channel. We did have the one game last week that was on ESPN Plus, which is good because I didn't want to watch whatever that was. Anyway,
Fair.
the New York Football Giants are plus 6.5, taking on a Pittsburgh Steelers team that has found an offense.
I don't know how long that offense is going to be consistent. Gonna say it again. The Giants fucking suck. The Steelers team, yeah, they've seemed to find an offense. That defense we know is already pretty good. This is kind of a no-brainer. I don't care if Malik Neighbors is healthy. Give me the Steelers.
I was gonna say Malik Neighbors is not listed on the injury report. However, they are without veteran kicker Graham Gano, if that matters.
It's not gonna
On
matter.
IR.
Yeah, Pittsburgh wins this game.
Now, I know Austin is not sold on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, but I watched that entire game, Steelers and Jets, and once Russell Wilson found a little bit of a groove, that offense really started to click. Chris Collinsworth may have spoke it into existence. Man, when they got to start taking some deep shots. Russell Wilson's just the most outstanding deep ball quarterback. Well, for a rare occurrence, Chris Collinsworth was right. Once they hit one deep pass, that Steelers offense started clicking, and Russell Wilson was the better quarterback on the field than Aaron Rodgers.
Which, yeah.
And it wasn't even really close. So if the Steelers are going to find that offense, Najee Harris, albeit a lot of it in garbage time, ran for over 100 yards again and a touchdown really in garbage time. But they still have a fairly decent running back duo with Harris and Jalen Warren.
Free
Give me
Najee.
Pittsburgh. Free Najee Harris. Yes, that still remains true. Mike Tomlin hates the man. But
Yeah, he
I will
does.
take the Pittsburgh Steelers. I really like what I saw out of them last week.
That's your picks.
And those are your picks. Kaleb is momentarily gone. He's back.
Perfect.
Champ and chump.
My champ, I will start us off, is kind of a 2-for-1. Christian Pulisic and Mauricio Pochettino. We saw what Pulisic did yesterday with the Olympico goal. He's just been so fucking good this year. He's quietly becoming one of the best players at his position in soccer. Just in such great form. And Pochettino gets the nod because he made the right call to not start really anybody of note in a meaningless mid-October friendly against Mexico, against with a very volatile U.S. crowd, U.S. International soccer crowd right now. Yes, it sucks that they lost that friendly to Mexico, but again, it's a meaningless game. Get the guys who are important to this team playing Champions League soccer.
Well, you said we saw it. I don't know if I have. I mean, Chelsea's kind of ass, so I'm kind of out on soccer at the moment.
Fair.
Kaleb, do you have a champ of the week?
I did have a champ of the week, and now it's Austin's champ of the week. So I just made a new one.
Oh,
The Kennesaw State Owls are my champ of the week. They are now 1-6 after upsetting Liberty 27-24.
oh, Liberty tried to come
So-
back.
Liberty tried to come back. Yes, Liberty was
Ow.
28-point favorites,
Yes, they were.
and they are now losers.
To a team in their first
Loser.
FBS season. Oh no,
Ouch.
we're dead.
Yeah,
We're dead.
We're dead.
Podcast over for the rest of time. We took Liberty, and now we're dead.
Dead.
Your girlfriend better sell those tickets to cover your funeral cost. 'Cause, yeah, we're dead.
Oh Christ alive! My champ of the week, and really, it's a champ of the last 4 weeks because of what this Detroit Lions offense has done for the last 4 weeks, and the champ goes to Jared Goff.
That's fair.
I mean, he won't be in MVP conversation
No,
because that's just not how the NFL works.
correct.
It's gonna go to Patrick Mahomes, even though he's playing the worst football we've ever seen Patrick Mahomes play. But he's getting away with it, and the Chiefs are winning, and right now they're undefeated. And he's probably, if they finish the season at, with 2-3 losses, guess what? Guess who's your MVP?
Yep.
Patrick fucking Mahomes. Jared Goff should be in MVP conversation,
Yes, very much so.
but he won't be. He is a massive reason why this Lions offense is capable of doing what they're doing, in probably one of the biggest reasons. And he's really rebounded after a rough start, was throwing picks in, I believe, each of the first 3 games of the year. and all of a sudden is one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the entire
Should be.
NFL, probably the most efficient. So my
Your MVP favorites, just to touch on that very briefly, I don't want to go too deep on it. Your MVP favorites should be Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, and Josh Allen. And,
Josh
and
should be up there.
And maybe Jane Daniels, because no one expected this fucking Commanders team to be this good.
Yes, but he won't win.
Well, no,
he won't even come close.
No, because he's a rookie. But yeah, like I just named 3 guys that definitely should be up there. But nope, it's every sports book still has Patrick Mahomes as your favorite. Your live
Or Lamar Jackson.
Well, I mean, Lamar makes sense at least.
Oh yeah.
Patrick Mahomes does not, because he's had one of the worst seasons we've ever seen. Chump of the week. Unless Jordan had anything else to add to his champ.
I need to.
Okay.
I need to do something.
I just didn't know if you were finished with your champ of the week.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Champ of the week, or my chump of the week, is not really one person. It's a large group of people. It is everybody who thinks that this Dodgers-Yankees World Series is quote-unquote good for baseball.
Yeah. Nobody wants, like, okay, I get it in a way, because are these the 2 most talented teams getting into the World Series?
Yes.
Yes. Did they also pay more money than all 3 of us will ever come close to seeing in our lifetime? Yes.
Yeah, I'm guessing I just took Caleb's chump of the week, too.
It was my chump of the week.
To the Shohei Ohtani contract. We won't ever make that much money in our lives.
No. And I don't know.
Not even close.
Like, so I'm going to give Dodgers fans a slight pass, because I did see one Dodgers fan explain it. Like, okay, this team... okay, yeah, they've won 1 World Series since 1980 something, and then that one World Series, so many baseball fans clown on them because they say it's quote unquote illegitimate, and the fact that people are still fucking saying that.
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse World Series during the COVID season. Yes,
the fact that people are still saying that. Come the fuck on.
We can thank the NBA for that, by the way.
Yeah.
The whole term.
Yeah. And it just goes to show, like, these fucking Yankees fans especially, that when did we start caring about fucking the ratings? Guys, I have some news for you. Rob Manfred isn't gonna fucking sleep with you. Stop trying to suck his dick.
Well, that's not going to happen, and Rob Manfred is certainly not going to be the one to save baseball either. Despite how much they do want to push how great this World Series is for baseball.
Like,
no, the only people that like the Yankees and the Dodgers are Yankees and Dodgers fans.
Like,
it's not going to be the most intriguing World Series. I don't think people are just going to tune into it because it's Yankees and Dodgers.
I'm going to ask,
even though they have large fan bases, I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm going to ask both of you this question that I asked people on Twitter. And the answer that I've gotten was, well, Shohei Ohtani. Oh, Aaron Judge, which we need to stop getting a boner about Aaron Judge in the postseason, because he's fucking terrible in the postseason. He's once again batting 120 with more strikeouts than fucking hits. And yes, I know you're both Tigers fans. Do you have a single reason to watch a single pitch of this World Series?
No.
Kind of. Okay, it's not a good reason, but my buddy works for the Dodgers, so...
I mean, no, that's a good enough reason, actually.
But, like, what do I want to sit down and watch this? Absolutely not. Nobody wants this World
Series.
My only reason to watch the World Series is because I generally try and take time out of my day to watch any sort of championship series or championship game when they're on.
I mean, that's fair.
It doesn't matter who is in it in terms of getting me to watch. these two teams being in there make me not want to.
Exactly. Like this is not a series to like a Detroit fan or a fucking St. Louis fan or a Miami Marlins fan. Like there's no reason for them to watch.
And now maybe this is a bad comparison because you could say the same thing about what I'm about to say and the same thing now. It's the same reason I didn't want to watch the Super Bowl necessarily. Because
That's accurate.
You had the Chiefs in there, and then you had the Niners.
Who
Who outside of those specific fan bases are just like, hey, I want to see this one team do good.
And like, yeah, you're right. And
but you look into that though, and now the Lions have just made it to the NFC Championship. NFC Championship game, they got eliminated, and then the Tigers got eliminated by Cleveland. So you could argue the same thing here for this series, but I just don't see widespread interest for a matchup where that was the favorite. That was what was supposed to happen.
And two teams with more money than God.
Year. Yes. So, no, I don't have any intrigue or interest in really watching it. I don't.
Like, and I've likened it to nobody wants to watch Alabama, Georgia in the national championship.
Nope.
To Ash's point, I would have watched the Subway Series because the Mets shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, I would have watched that.
That's intriguing.
That would have been cool.
That's intriguing. There is no compelling reason to watch this. So the fact that we have this, like, there's people that have this weird obsession, and you said it great, Jordan, the other day. It's that especially Yankees fans aren't true baseball fans. Because like any interaction you have on Twitter with these Yankees fans, where you ask them, give me one reason to watch this game, or tell them that this series isn't great for baseball, their response is, stay mad, bro.
There's that.
Which is,
and so to go into another thing that we talked about, what's the most watched playoff game so far? It doesn't involve the Yankees or the Dodgers.
Detroit Cleveland Game 5 of the ALDS.
Bang.
Yeah.
So this whole ratings talk, people are going to watch it because of the World Series, but baseball ratings when it comes to the World Series have gone down overall.
The past few years,
year.
It wasn't just Rangers Diamondbacks having
D-back, no, it wasn't anything to do with that. It's just in general.
Yeah.
Not saving baseball.
No, so like
you're actively trying to destroy competition in baseball with your billion-dollar rosters.
Yeah, it's fucking. I don't know where these people, and again, it's because Yankees and Dodgers fans, they're basketball fans at their heart. They're not baseball fans. They don't care. So it's weird that we're having this as a thing. Kaleb.
I am not.
Oh, sorry.
By the way, one final quick note. I am not saying that baseball needs a salary cap, because in a way, we have one. But the luxury tax needs to mean more.
Luxury tax needs to mean more, and there arguably needs to be a floor.
Yeah, that too. I mean, the Tigers have probably been under the floor, but
yeah, you need to argue for having a salary floor.
Yeah.
If there's a salary floor, we're gonna see a whole lot of teams up for sale.
Like Oakland,
Miami, Tampa, Oakland, or wherever the fuck they are now.
Sacramento.
Vegas.
Sacramento for now.
Moving to Vegas, they're playing in Sacramento, but I didn't think they were calling themselves the Sacramento A's.
No, they're just the A's.
The A's.
Oh, the A's. Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Something does have to change, but putting a hard cap on it, I don't know is the answer.
They're definitely, the luxury tax needs to actually mean something. You are right.
Somebody with a bigger brain and a bigger paycheck than mine needs to figure it out, because the NFL salary cap isn't the answer either.
No.
The New Orleans Saints, they didn't do shit, but look at their cap problems. Year after year after year, they're over the cap.
Mm-hmm.
CBAs need to change big time to not make it possible for it's a complete ramble at this point, but make it possible for teams like, you know, KC now and just the deferred contracts, and you look at the Dodgers in baseball. We can't let that shit happen. How the fuck is that going to work for the Dodgers later? They're going to find some loophole in the next CBA to defer it even farther.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani is going to become the next Bobby Bonilla.
Well, no, he already is.
I mean, he already is, but
there's gonna be a new CBA, and there's gonna be new loopholes, and something's got to change. Something's got to be more consistent with this shit.
Yeah,
because this Shohei Ohtani contract situation is just fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Kaleb, we just built a lot on what both of our chumps of the week was.
I did come up with one.
Okay, sweet.
Cleveland Browns fans, man. Like, look, I get Deshaun Watson's ass, but like when you're chanting like you deserve it and you're cheering and this motherfucker, like Jameis Winston said, regardless of how bad he is, he goes out there and plays football every Sunday for the fans. No one likes him because he's terrible. But like at the end of the day, you can't be doing stuff like that.
So my thought on the Browns, whether they cheered his injury or what else, the Browns fans didn't have a choice when all of the Deshaun Watson news was going on. He's now your quarterback. You have to try in the depths of your soul to accept that and like this man. He gets hurt, and immediately, all of a sudden, that commitment and that attachment to him is gone.
Yeah.
And he'd already played terrible. But all of a sudden you get to finally unleash those feelings of his off the field stuff because you traded for him in the midst of that.
Yeah.
So it was a wild swing of emotions for Browns fans. I do not condone it, but I think I understand it a little bit.
I understand it. Deshaun Watson's a terrible person.
Yeah.
I understand it. As somebody who played the game, this whole situation puts me in a really tough spot. Extremely, extremely tough spot. I understand it, and the Browns fans were kind of pushed into this spot by the organization.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I think some of it comes down to the frustration with the organization in general for getting him in the first place, where he hadn't played in, I don't think it was a full 2 years at that point, but he hadn't played in over a season. And you went and acquired him. He hasn't played good football in Cleveland.
Hasn't played a full season either.
No, and now we still won't. But the Browns are still on the hook for that, and
yep.
I feel bad for that that whole fan base, really, because I mean that's just more torture for them. As somebody who's been there, I mean, me and Kaleb have been there. The Lions have been dumpster fires, more so now in our lifetime than they were even previously. I get it, but I don't know. Not the right way to handle it. We do, from chat, by the way, if we don't bring this up, we might all die, have an honorable champion chump of the week, and that is Tua Tagovailoa.
This is another hard one for me. As somebody who had to medically retire from the game because of concussions, I get not wanting to do it. But at some point, you gotta prioritize your fucking health.
That article earlier where it was just like, oh, well, he's returning, but wearing the safest helmet for quarterbacks in the NFL. And it's the same helmet he already wore.
Yeah.
The same helmet that cracked on Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yes. Like I said,
what metrics are we using for that?
That's a hard one because I I get not wanting to hang it up, especially wanting to hang it up because of an injury. I feel that in my soul. I understand where Tua is coming from there, but at some point you have to prioritize your health. And Jordan, do you have a chump so we can get out of here?
I did, but I forgot it, so I'm just gonna name Liberty.
Fair.
The chump of the week. The live line prior to this game was not, I don't believe, what we picked. What did we pick at?
23.5, I think.
23.5. The live line was 27.5.
Yeah.
Pre-game.
Yeah.
Undefeated Liberty defeated a team in their first FBS season, and you lose by a touchdown. You didn't. I don't think they led.
No, I don't believe so.
I don't believe they led.
Let's look.
Yeah, I am curious. I should have it up. Box score.
That wouldn't be possible.
Play by play.
Well, maybe.
I would say because it was.
No, they did lead. They led 7-0.
Oh, well.
They led 7-0 after an opening drive Kennesaw State punt.
And then Kennesaw State never looked back.
A 16-play 15-yard drive for Kennesaw State to open the game, by the way.
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh, sorry. Six play, 15-yard drive.
Oh.
Kennesaw State is a fitting champ of the week, but if we didn't mention Liberty, we'd never get to live with ourselves. And we are now dead. And I think that's a perfect way to wrap this up. I hope you've enjoyed watching us all on the internet at times, but we are dead.
Yeah, no longer alive. Thanks, Liberty.
We took Liberty. We got death.
Yep. Alrighty, that's the show this week. Jordan and I will be back next week on a day that ends in Y.
Maybe. I was gonna push for a week off next week.
You know what? Middle of the season, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I was gonna push for a week off.
Unless something stupid crazy happens with news, I'm fine with it.
All right. So at most 2 weeks, possibly next week. I'm not entirely committed, but throw that out there.
Yeah. So possibly we won't be back till before I leave for Columbus. So for a couple days. So till then, peace out. Stay classy.
Peace.
See ya.